Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and I have another fun Build-A-Booth Halloween card to share. Hey, so I'm using Jaded Blossom's Gnome dies Sign Add Ons, their Spooky Season stamp set, Word Bubble dies, Build-A-Booth dies, Build-A-Booth Monster Add Ons, Monster Munchies stamp set, along with Doodlebug's Spooky Season Sweet and Spooky Odds and Ends, their Sweet and Spooky 6-inch pad, Echo Park's Monster Mash 6-inch pad along with the 12-inch matching solids. And I did put this together on the Build-A-Booth Monster Add-ons assembly video, so check that out. Okay, so first I have a piece of paper tray ink black cardstock, 4.25 by 11, and I'm scoring it at 5.5 inches to make a vertical HU size card with my Martha Stewart scoreboard and my Teflon bone folder. There we go. And I have a piece of paper from that 6-inch Doodlebug pad Spooky Season, cut at 1/8 of an inch smaller than an HU size card front. And I'm just going to stick that down to my card base with some Barely Art glue. So I just got a little bit of wiggle room there, and I will weight it down. Now I'm going to add this little monster. But when I originally made it, I made it to sort of go on a booth, so I wasn't concerned about the height. So I'm just going to move it down a little bit so it fits on an HU size card base better. So you saw that I cut the top off, and then I'm just going to stick the bottom down with the Barely Art glue, and then I will re-add the top so it fits on an HU size card front. There we go. And oh, I forgot that I'm going to add some of this pink paper. That is Doodlebug's Rainbow Petite Prints and Candy Stripe and Sprinkles in the pink. And I'm just going to glue a piece, to sort of cover behind where that booth is. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect because it'll be covered by the little monster head. Yeah, there's the little paper there showing it to you. And now I'm going to glue it down onto my card base, just with that Barely Art glue. Again, remember you can watch me put that together on the Jaded Blossoms Gnome die or Build-A-Booth dies Monster Add-ons assembly video. So there we go. So now I'm pulling out my Monster Munchies stamp set, and I'm going to stamp a sentiment on this cute square word bubble die from Jaded Blossom. I'm using my Misty that has one of those waffle flower grip mats on the inside just to hold things in place. And I'm just going to stamp in some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And I'll stamp that sentiment, hope your Halloween is Monsterific, which is kind of fun. There we go. Isn't that cute? Now I'm going to stamp, this is going to go on the inside. And I'm going to stamp another sentiment on this one. It'll say Trick or Treat eventually, once I get things set up. That's just a little acetate sheet. I think I'm using Spooky Season for it, but I'm not. I'm actually using the Candy Corn for Sale stamp set. So I'm just going to stamp that Trick or Treat on the front of that sign. That is cut from paper tray ink craft cardstock. So I'll just peel off that acetate, and then I'll stamp that same VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink just a couple of times to get a good sentiment, nice and crisp. Okay, so now on the inside, I'm going to add a piece of paper that's 4 by 5.25 inches. And I'll stick that down with my Barely Art glue as well. And just for somewhere to write, I always like to add a white piece of paper on the inside. Now I'm going to add a little 1/2-inch strip of paper from that same Spooky Season 6-inch pad from Doodlebug. There we go. And I'm going to leave some space there. And I've got 2 little images from the odds and ends from the Spooky Season from Doodlebug. So I'm going to add a little pumpkin and then a little ghost sort of peeking out from behind the pumpkin. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp a sentiment on the inside of the card, and that will be from that Spooky Season stamp set. There we go. And it's going to say, Hey Boo. Kind of a play on the ghost there. And I'm going to stamp that in that VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. I'll stamp it a couple of times. Remember, this ink takes a while to dry, and you'll see why you've got to be careful in a minute because I do smear it. So now I'm going to add on a little black string to my sign cut out of paper tray ink black cardstock. And I did cut that square word bubble out with Paper Ink white cardstock as well, just because I'll be popping it up and it gives it a little bit more sturdiness. I'm going to add some little white highlights to my little items on the inside here with a secure white jelly roll pen and a number 10. Now that paper that I used for that square word bubble, that is from the Monster Mash 6-inch pad from Echo Park, that pattern. There we go. So I'm going to stick down this little sign on here. I'm not sure where yet. I'm just sort of figuring that out. I'll stick that in the upper right hand, you know, part of the grouping. And of course I've touched that ink. So I'm going to cause a little bit of mess here. And I'm just going to, you know, stick a hole in that background. And you see what I've done? I've got ink on my background. Oh no. Okay, but I'm going to add a little brad. It's just a mini brad, just to hold the sign, just for fun. I don't mind that it's sticking through the back. So I've got 3 little pieces there, 3 little spots of ink smudging. So I'll fix that in a minute. So I'm going to pop up this little eye with some 3M foam tape. And then I'll do the same thing with that little sentiment as well on the front. So there we go. So I'm just going to stick that down. Remember, everything that I used to make this little monster booth is listed on that Build a Booth Monster Add Ons assembly video. So check it out. But everything will also be listed on my blog today, so you can also check it out there. So I'm going to add that little word bubble to the right and sort of underneath this sort of claw there. Isn't that fun? Now, I'm going to hide these little ink smudges with some more little ephemera from the Doodlebug Spooky Season odds and ends. There we go, and like sort of a visual triangle to fix things up. Now I'm going to use some 3M foam tape to pop up a few little stars on the front of this little image in a visual triangle because it's fun. There we go. And I will do the same with the other 2. I used pink because it kind of goes with that pink that's in its mouth. And, you know, it adds a little bit, you know, a little something extra to your card front. And it's lots of fun to use these Doodlebug odds and ends with your, you know, with your designs, I think. Isn't that cute? So I'm pulling out my Nuvo Crystal drops in ebony black, and I'm just going to add them to where the nail heads are. And then once that's done, I'll have to let it dry, but my card design will be finished. There we go. So easy stuff. And there you have your card. So thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hop on over to the Jaded Blossom blog, Be Inspired by the Team, the Jaded Blossom store to get your hands on these amazing products. And thank you as always for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we will see you soon in the next one. Bye, everybody.